Good afternoon, everyone. We are here at the Inca Candler Farmers Market here at AB Tech campus. It's the small business center that all the small business people use to make their business thrive. And today I'm going to teach you how to do microgreens. So we have to have a few things before we do our microgreen growing, and that is these plastic, did I say my name, Julie Gunn? Julie Gunn from my Shawnaka Family Farm, and my booth is right next door. So come on down to the market and visit all of our beautiful vendors and awesome produce, great food.
I'm gonna pan.
Ice cream, all kinds of yummy stuff is here for you. Beautiful crafts, all of that good stuff. Okay, well, let's get to it. This is your tray that you would grow your microgreens in, and I like to get the heavy duty tray. And then we'll do that. I'm gonna plant one, and then I'll do another little workshop a little bit later on. So what I do when I empty my previous tray of the dirt that's in this, after I've harvested my microgreens, I will take a cleaner. Now this cleaner is only essential oils mixed with water. I don't use any kind of soapy stuff on my microgreen trays. Just don't do it, because I don't want any residual soap getting into the flavor of the microgreens. That would totally turn the customer off, and it may give you the runs. If you do too much soap on your dishes at home and you're having problems, it could be that issue. Too much soap is not good. It's everything in moderation. So this stuff is a mixture of, it's an oil that's called Thieves in the marketplace, and water. You could do tea tree oil, and that would also disinfect. So I just spray it like this on my tray, and a little bit more than that, but I'm gonna plant directly now. You can smell it, it smells so good. So then what I do with my trays, after I've done that, I clean them first, obviously, and then spray that, and then I sit them out on the sun so that they will dry nicely, and then they're ready for planting. So then what I have is I have my seed, which I basically buy in bulk. Now what I recommend you do is get, not heritage, what is the word for seeds that are ancient?
Aged?
No. Heirloom.
Heirloom.
Get heirloom seeds. A lot of people are going for the organic, and that's fine, but it's going to be more money. You have to find a place that you can buy it in bulk. Right here in our neighborhood, here in Candler, is a guy that sells the seeds in bulk, and it's a really, really good price. So I will go in there every week and buy about 5 ounces of the seed that I'm going to plant. I get probably 5 different seeds, and he specializes in the heirloom seeds. What that means for you is heirloom has not been touched by any kind of chemical. It wouldn't be able to be classified as heirloom. When they do grow on the seed farms, they are not allowed to chemicalize their seed, especially for heirloom, and organic as well. So what we do first is we're going to get our dirt. I also recommend that you use a mushroom compost. This is an organic mushroom compost. This is the best. It's the highest in nutrients. There are some people out there planting microgreens in a fabric, felt. I do not recommend that. The reason the microgreens are so healthy for you is because you're using beautiful, healthy soil. And the nutrients and the minerals and all of that, and the microbes, are in the soil, and that's what makes it healthy. If you're growing in some other medium, like wool or whatever, it's not going to be as nutritious. That's a shortcut, and I don't recommend it. Not for optimum health, and I certainly wouldn't do that for my customers. My customers have come to expect the best of the best, and that's what I'm going to give them. So I grow in the mushroom compost. I do not reuse the mushroom compost. I use it once, and then it goes into my compost pile. And you could lay it directly on a bed if it's all clean and no weeds. So what I do is I get the tray all filled with dirt all the way up to the rim. And the reason is when you do the microgreens, they have to be taller than this lip for you to take and give them a haircut. And then you eat those tops. So if you are chincing on the dirt, then you're not, it's going to take too long for the microgreens to get tall enough for you to harvest them. And we don't want that, because then you run into trouble. We are in Western North Carolina. This is a rainforest of sorts, so it can get very moldy around here. So the goal is to get these microgreens to grow up real fast within the week, and then harvest them within that week. And then that way there's no mold growing. And remember, there's many different types of mold. So if you do have mold issues on your farm or your microgreens, if it's the black or brown or black or gray mold, that is something you would throw away immediately. If there's a little bit of white stuff there, that is not going to harm you and it is not toxic. So you would be okay there. So now the next step is, many people will ask me, how many ounces would you use in your tray? I try to use about 1 3/4 ounces. There's a reason I get 5 ounces in bulk each week. So that I try to use this amount right here for 3 trays. And you do this. Now I do not recommend wearing gloves. You want the seed, especially if you're growing for yourself, to be in your hands. The seed right now is reading my energy and what I need for my health. So this seed is going to grow the things that I'm missing in its makeup, because its energy is connecting with my energy and seeing what I need for my optimum health. So gloves are a no-no. And if you're afraid of touching the dirt and all that, you need to resolve that issue with yourself. That's nonsense. And if you feel that there might be parasites or something like that on the soil, there's parasite cleanses out there that we all should be doing. You know, we do that with our animals, our doggies and cats and goats and sheep. You do a parasite cleanse at least twice a year, and you should also be doing that as a human. So as we do the sprinkling, you try to get an even coverage. Now there's another trick that you can do if you're growing for yourself and your family. You can take the seed and put it in your mouth, get your saliva on it, then it will really broadcast what you're needing in the growing. So when you go to harvest that plant that you planted for yourself, it's going to give you exactly what you are missing in your nutritional balance. So if you have kids, get them out in the garden and get them to help you plant, and get them to spit on the seeds, get them in your mouth, and then have them put them down. I know some people may think that's gross, but it's awesome. That's what you have to do. You have to get over your foibles and, you know, talk to the ancient farmers. You know, my grandma's not on the planet anymore, but she was talking this stuff, I tell you. She knew for some reason, I don't know, the wisdom was there with the elders. And I learned a lot of stuff from her. And of course my mama and daddy. But yeah, I don't know how many generation farmer. We've been farming for many generations. So it's fitting that I show you how to do this. So you're just playing with the seeds a little bit, casting them down onto the dirt. I'm kind kind of shaking my hand to get it to shake out. Not that I'm nervous or anything. It might be a little bit, I don't know. So we get good coverage. Can you see the seeds there in the camera? Now the next step for you would be watering. Now I personally did not bring a watering can or any water because we're far away from a water source, and when I take this home it would be incredibly heavy. This is light now, so I'll be able to get it home easy peasy. I have my truck here and it's going to have to fit a lot of stuff in there, so I didn't bring the water. But what you would do now is you would soak it, and they have these really cool doohickeys that you put on the end of your hose, and they have all kinds of settings. I put it on mist, and it's just a light mist. You do not want to do high-powered watering on this because it's going to mess up your perfect even bed that you've already made. So you mist it lightly, and you get it good soak in there, real good soak on the water. And then once that's done, you would take it in to your growing area and set it aside, and you would put another tray on top. Now, I don't put any dirt on top. The number one reason is if you put dirt on top, you're going to have dirt on your microgreens. If you don't do that, then you're going to be able to snip off, and you might get a little particle here and there, which is fine. It's organic mushroom compost, and they say that if you're vegan, you're missing your B12s, and even some of us that are eating the meat, missing some B12s. Some of the new knowledge is that it's not absorbing through for meat eaters. I'm not quite sure about that. I'd have to do a deep dive on the knowledge there. But if you get your microgreens and there's a little particle of dirt on them and you eat that, that's where you're getting your vitamin B12, so it's okay. So then what I do is I place a tray on top, the soaked microgreens, and then I come in with some bricks, and I place those bricks right on top. And if you have little bricks about this big, do 3. These are good sized bricks, so you do 2. Then what I'll do is I will take another tray that I've planted, and I'll place that right on top for optimum space on my growing wall. I have a big wall where I, at certain times when I'm really in high production, I've got 40 trays going at a time. So we've got to optimize our space. So that's how you would do it. Now the reason you're putting the tray on is you're not putting the dirt on top, and you're pushing down. The tray is pushing down with the weights, so that will give the seeds the signal it's time now to go. And they're pushing up and growing. They'll come up in less than a week. So then once it gets up and you can start to see the little sprouts coming up all around, then you take your bricks off and you take your tray off, and then you let it sit under a light. Or if you don't have the lights and you're just growing for yourself, you don't necessarily need a light, then you have it in a room that has good natural light, and you could even carry this tray outside and set it on your porch or balcony or whatever you got going. And then that day it stays out, and it'll grow another good inch if you're doing it right, and it'll green up. When you take the tray off, it'll be yellow. All the thing will be yellow because you'll have a little bit of green because it's looking for the sunshine, and that's how it makes the photosynthesis and turns green and gets all the yummy vitamins. So you're getting your vitamins and minerals from the dirt and from the beautiful sun that keeps all of us alive on the planet. I would have brought a tray, a finished tray, but there is not even an inch of room left in my truck. So maybe next time I'll have someone deliver a tray if I do another workshop for you all. But that's how you do the microgreens, and they're very, very nutritious. So then I will give them a haircut with the scissors, and you can go get the haircut scissors in the pharmacy or wherever you go, the dollar store, wherever you're shopping. get a really good sharpen on it, and then you just grab it and cut it. And then I put them, do you have a microgreen there for me, Ray? A little bag? I put them in the little snack bag. Thank you so much. This is what it looks like. I don't like to use the plastic, they're called something, shells, I guess, the plastic shell, because this is something that you as a person can reuse when you buy this from me, and then you can use it for beads or any kind of paraphernalia that's floating around your house, even a bag for your coins and stuff, pennies, nickels, and dimes that you might use in your daily running around and getting your errands done. So you can reuse this little bag. And I think it's less hard on the environment if you use this. And this one particular one is cabbage. I personally grow arugula, which is spicy and so good. I grow cabbage, broccoli, kale. I've grown tons and tons of sunflowers. Everybody loves those. I've grown buckwheat, radish, and there's a couple of other ones floating around in my mind, but it's not coming to the surface. But I want to tell you the reason I chose broccoli is because I have a little story about broccoli, and that is that the broccoli is an anti-aging component to it. So if you eat the broccoli microgreens, even the broccoli regular shoots, and you want to skin the core of your broccoli if you're using the mature grown-up broccoli, and eat that core, because that has a lot of beneficial vitamins and minerals in it, and it helps lengthen your telomeres. Now, what are telomeres? Telomeres are the things that govern aging in the body, in the human body. If you have long, nice, neat telomeres with caps on them, you're going to age very, very gracefully. And how do you repair and keep your telomeres intact? You eat broccoli microgreens. So good for you. And it is my best seller, I must say. But I'm pretty convincing. Once you come into my booth, you just have to buy a bag. It's just the way it is, right? All right, folks. It was so good to talk to you. If you have any questions, please come to the Inca Candler Tailgate Market, Thursday, 3:30 to 6:30. Come and meet all of our beautiful vendors, and I'll be here to answer any of your questions if you have any. Is there any questions from the audience?
Yes. So how long should you keep those in your fridge, in the plastic bag?
Oh, well, these can last a long time. If you bought them like lickety split, if you look at this bag, there's no moisture on the bag, so this was just harvested. It hasn't been, it's pretty cool today, so you're going to be able to take this home immediately, put it in your fridge, and it could last 2 to 3 weeks. So that's my experience with most of my customers. I, on the other hand, am gobbling it up as fast as I can, because I like the idea of the anti-aging, right? Who wouldn't? All right, any other questions?
I also heard that broccoli is great for anti-cancer as well, for some cancer.
It actually is. I've had quite a few customers that are dealing with the big C, and I always recommend that they do eat the microgreens. And the interesting thing is, the customers are now coming in and they're asking for them, and someone has already told them about the microgreens and being healthy. These kinds of microgreens have a lot of it's a certain component, oxygen dioxide or something like that, which is really, really good also, and really helps your body to for recovery for athletes and anyone in illness. I would definitely recommend these. I do have another customer that's always buying these things, and they put them in their smoothies. So what I recommend for my kids is, I say, because every now and then you want to have a pizza, right? And technically that's not the healthiest thing on the planet to eat. At least that's what somebody told me once. I don't know. No, truly it's probably not. So what do you do to make it healthy? Take your favorite microgreen after you've warmed up your pizza or baked it, and then cut it up in your slices, and then serve it with your microgreens. Microgreens fresh though, don't cook them, because then they're going to have your optimum nutritional value. You just sprinkle it on your pizza and all of a sudden you have a healthy snack. So, wow, isn't that great?
Do microgreens help you to clean out your heavy metals?
Yes, I would say that they help that along. There are other things that you can also use to remove heavy metals. Silica is one of those things in water. You can buy silica and add it to your water. There is a water called Fiji, which is very high in silica, and that is in the Fiji Islands where that water comes from, and it has been studied. The people there have been studied. Very few of those people have cancer or other ailments that us here in the Western world have, and they're really eating very healthy, and they swim in that beautiful, beautiful water with silica in it. We also sell a thing in our booth called horsetail, and that is high in silica as well, and really, really good for your teeth and your what is that?
Gums?
Gums and the stuff that protects your teeth.
Oh, the dentine?
No, enamel. Yeah, it helps rebuild enamel. That's how good the horsetail is. So people, you got to get with it and get to the Inca Candler Farmers Market Thursday, 3 to 6. Well, 3:30 to 6:30. Thank goodness for Godfrey. He's setting me straight. 3:30 to 6:30. We did that because our customers requested that we have the market a little bit later, so the people that are actually working a 9 to 5 would be able to wheel in and get their favorite stuff. So thank you very much, Godfrey, for the tips and questions. And is there any other questions? Well, thank you so much for watching and tuning in. If this is, you may see this on my YouTube channel. So if so, like, share,
subscribe,
and hit the dinger so you know when I'm posting. Thank you so much, guys. It was lovely.